I had a needle in my arm and a crack pipe in my mouth every day. Never saw a way out. Jesus saved my life and gave me a new one. Did he though? This is about one of the most heartbreaking things that I see from born again Christians. They went through something horrific. They were able to overcome addiction, which is huge. But instead of taking the credit for themselves, they outsource it to some sky ghost. I have never heard of a single person who got through that severe of an addiction by prayer alone. Nobody just said, Jesus, please come into my life and make me whole again. And then all of a sudden, no more addiction. Brand new life. You did this. You got yourself out of this because you wanted to. You should take the credit for that. And I'm quite sure that you had other humans in your life that helped you to get through this. You should give them credit for it as well. And what about all the other Christians that asked Jesus to come into their lives, but they still did not get over the addiction, or they died of that addiction? Because that kind of insinuates that their faith wasn't strong enough, so they didn't deserve a new life. And what about all the people who were able to kick the habit and get a new life without Jesus? Getting over addiction is a tough fucking thing, and trying to say that Jesus came into your life and just got you over it is kind of misleading, because I'm sure you had to go through some form of detox. If all it took was trying to invite Jesus into your life would save everybody, I'm sure everybody would be doing it. And that's my problem with a lot of these type of testimonies. It oversimplifies recovery. That is a long and hard process. And a lot of people say, you know what? Until Jesus came into my life, I wasn't able to do it. And then they act like that was the thing that helped get them through it. But it actually was a lot of factors. And a lot of people who go through these programs just trade one addiction for another. They trade the drugs for Jesus. They just put that time and effort that they used to use on drugs onto Jesus or God or whatever you want to call it. Because typically when people go through this type of process, they don't just go, I couldn't have done it without Jesus. But instead they go full bore into Jesus. Crosses everywhere, praying all the time, trying to bring everybody you know to Jesus. I'm not saying that's specifically you, I'm just saying that's what happens a lot of the time. I had a good friend that went through that process, and I just couldn't be around him anymore because he was constantly telling me how he was on fire for the Lord. Losing the friendship wasn't his fault, it was mine for just not being right with God. Look, you went through a horrific event and you got yourself better. Take credit for what you did. You deserve that. If other people helped you, praise them. All I'm saying is that miracles don't check you into rehab. People do.